A little black girl, no more than 10, pushes open the heavy glass doors of a towering corporate office building. Her sneakers squeak on the marble floor, heads turn. At the front desk, the receptionist glances up, puzzled. "Sweetheart, are you lost?" The girl clutches a wrinkled piece of paper, her resume, and whispers, "I'm here for a job interview." A murmur ripples through the lobby. Employees pause, eyebrows raised. Is this a prank? Where are her parents? What kind of interview? Someone calls for security. Another starts recording on their phone, but before anyone can intervene, the CEO himself steps out of the elevator. What he discovers next changes everything. Her name is Ava. She's 10 years old and her clothes hang slightly loose, borrowed from her mom's closet for the occasion. She walks with hesitant steps, clutching a crumpled resume she typed herself the night before. The receptionist leans over the desk, still puzzled. "Are you sure you're in the right place, sweetheart?" Ava nods, eyes wide but determined. "I need to speak to the hiring manager, please." Flashback. The night before, Ava sat in the hallway listening as her mother cried softly on the phone. Something about a job interview she couldn't attend, a bus she missed, a second chance slipping through her fingers. Ava didn't catch all the details, but she understood one thing. Her mom needed help. So she found the name of the company, printed the resume they had worked on together, circled the address on a worn city map, and this morning she set out alone. She doesn't really know what the job interview means, but she does know how to say please and thank you. She knows how to smile, sit up straight, and talk about how great her mom is, and in her mind maybe, just maybe, that will be enough. The receptionist offers a gentle smile, though her eyebrows are still furrowed. "Sweetheart, do you know who you're here to see?" Ava nods and proudly unfolds the crumpled resume. "My mommy was supposed to come, but she couldn't, so I did." The receptionist exchanges a glance with a colleague nearby. Within moments, a small crowd begins to gather, cubicle dwellers poking their heads out, a few stepping closer to see what's happening. "Is this some kind of prank?" someone whispers. "Where are her parents? Should we call someone?" A young junior manager, maybe in her late 20s, steps forward, kneeling to Ava's level. Her name tag reads Danielle, Marketing Associate. Her tone is soft but uncertain. "Hi there, I'm Danielle. Can I ask, why are you here, really?" Ava straightens her shoulders. "My mommy worked very hard on this resume. She was going to give it to you today, but the bus didn't come, and she started crying. I thought, maybe if I came, you'd still let her have the job." The room falls quiet. No one quite knows what to say. Some glance at each other, uncomfortable. Others blink back emotion they didn't expect to feel on a random Tuesday morning. It's not every day a child walks into a Fortune 500 company advocating for her mother. Danielle bites her lip. "Do you want to come sit with me for a bit? Maybe get some water?" Ava nods, but holds out the resume one more time. "Can you please still look at this? My mommy is really good at helping people." And somehow, in that moment, it feels like the most important interview they've ever had. Up on the 20th floor, an executive assistant knocks softly on a glass door. "Miss Caldwell, there's something unusual happening in the lobby. You might want to come down." Catherine Caldwell, CEO of Heartwell and Company, doesn't look up from her laptop. "Security issue?" "Not exactly. It's a little girl. Says she's here for a job interview." That gets her attention. Minutes later, the elevator doors slide open and Miss Caldwell steps into the lobby, heels clicking, jaw set. She's known for being sharp, decisive, and entirely allergic to nonsense. She expects a disruption, a lost child, a social media stunt, maybe even a protest. What she sees instead stops her mid-stride. A small girl, standing patiently by the reception desk, hands clasped in front of her, her feet barely touching the floor as she sits upright in a waiting chair. Next to her, Danielle from marketing looks unsure of what to do with the resume in her hand. Miss Caldwell approaches slowly. Ava sees her coming and rises to her feet. She holds out the crumpled resume with both hands, her voice steady but soft. "Good morning, ma'am. I'm Ava." The CEO blinks, then bends slightly to meet her at eye level. "You're Ava, and you're here for a job interview?" "Yes, ma'am." Ava nods. "My mommy was supposed to come today, but she's in the hospital. She was really excited about this job, and she cried when she thought she couldn't come, so I came instead." A murmur goes through the employees still gathered nearby. Ms. Caldwell looks at the resume. It's wrinkled but typed neatly. The name Janelle Thompson sits at the top. The experience listed is solid. Office admin, data entry, customer support. "Your mom's name is Janelle?" she asks gently. Ava nods. "She's really good at organizing things, and she always says she wants to make people's jobs easier. That's what this job is for, right?" Ms. Caldwell is silent for a moment, the resume still in her hands. This isn't how corporate hiring works. She knows that. There are rules, processes, legal protocols. But something in Ava's eyes, clear, hopeful, unwavering, cuts through all of it. "She taught you how to write this?" "We did it together," Ava says proudly. "She let me choose the font." A tiny, unexpected smile flickers across Ms. Caldwell's face. She straightens, then glances around at her staff, now completely silent, waiting. "Danielle," she says, "let's get in touch with Ms. Thompson at the hospital, and in the meantime," she turns back to Ava, "how do you feel about joining me in my office for a chat?" Ava beams. "Yes, ma'am. Thank you." And just like that, the elevator doors close behind them, leaving the entire lobby changed. The moment the word hospital leaves Ava's lips, the lobby seems to freeze in place. No typing, no chatter. Even the elevators seem quieter. Ms. Caldwell's expression shifts. The sharp edges in her posture soften. She crouches down again, slower this time, her voice lower. "Is your mom okay, Ava?" Ava looks down at her shoes, kicking one lightly against the other. She gives a small shrug. "She told me not to worry," she says, almost in a whisper. "But she didn't wake up this morning." A quiet gasp escapes from someone in the back. A receptionist puts a hand to her mouth. Danielle, still standing nearby, blinks hard, eyes stinging. Ms. Caldwell doesn't speak right away. The resume in her hand now feels like something far heavier. "Who called for help?" she finally asks. "I did," Ava says, her voice still steady. "I remembered what she told me to do. I pressed the number on the fridge and waited with her until they came. Then I came here." The silence deepens. Even in a building full of professionals trained to move fast, make deals and multitask, nothing feels more important than this moment. Catherine Caldwell, CEO of a company known for its bottom line, takes a deep breath. Then she gently extends her hand again. "Well, Miss Ava," she says quietly, "you're the bravest person I've met in a long time." Ava's eyes close briefly, and suddenly she's back in their tiny apartment the night before. The air is thick with the faint scent of medicine and warm blankets. Her mom sits at the small kitchen table, coughing quietly into a tissue. Her face is pale, her hands trembling, but there's a soft smile as she helps Ava with her homework. "Okay, sweetheart, let's tackle these math problems together," her mom says, voice raspy but patient. Ava leans in, watching her mom's hand steady the pencil as they work through fractions and equations side by side. Later, the two of them sit huddled over a laptop. The screen glows with an email draft titled "Application for Administrative Assistant." Her mom's fingers type slowly but deliberately, correcting a sentence here, adding a skill there. Ava watches, fascinated. "I don't want you to worry about me," her mom whispers, glancing over at her daughter with tired eyes. "I've been applying for jobs, trying to find something stable, something that can help us." Ava nods, clutching a crumpled piece of paper she had scribbled on earlier, her own attempt to help. "I have an interview tomorrow," her mom continues quietly, voice catching, "at that big company downtown. I just hope I can make it." A cough shakes her shoulders, but she forces a brave smile. Ava leans in closer, whispering, "I'll be there with you, Mom. I promise." Her mom smiles again, squeezing Ava's hand. Thank you, baby. That means everything. Back in the present, Ava's breath catches. She had no idea just how much her mom had been fighting behind the scenes. No idea how much this chance meant. But now, standing in the lobby, clutching her mom's resume, she knew one thing for sure. She wasn't going to give up on her. Miss Caldwell leads Ava through the bustling office, her heels clicking softly against the polished floors. The hum of work fades behind the closed door of the CEO's spacious office. Ava sits on the edge of a leather chair, clutching her mom's resume like a lifeline. Miss Caldwell lowers herself to a seat across from her, her expression softer now, less the corporate commander and more a woman touched by something real. So, Miss Caldwell begins gently, "Tell me about your mom." Ava's eyes brighten just a little. "She works really hard. She's always helping people, at home, in our neighborhood. She cleans offices, answers phones, keeps everything organized. She's the strongest person I know." Ava pauses, twisting the edge of the resume in her hands. "I wish I could help her more. Sometimes I feel like I should be the grown-up." Miss Caldwell nods slowly, her eyes never leaving Ava's. "That's a lot of responsibility for someone your age." Ava shrugs, but her voice is firm. "I just want her to have a chance, a real chance to make things better." The CEO leans back, the weight of the moment settling on her shoulders. This wasn't just about hiring another employee. This was about giving a family hope, about recognizing a fight for survival behind the polished resumes and business suits. Miss Caldwell smiles gently. "You know, Ava, companies are made of people, and sometimes people need a little more than just a job title. They need someone to see them." Ava looks up, hope flickering in her eyes. Miss Caldwell reaches out, placing a hand over Ava's. "We're going to do everything we can to help your mom, because this is more than a job. This is a lifeline." Ava nods, her small hand squeezing Miss Caldwell's in return. Outside the door, the office buzzes on, but inside this room, everything has changed. Miss Caldwell reaches for her tablet, fingers stepping quickly as she pulls up the company's hiring database. "Tell me your mom's full name again," she asks softly. "Aunt Janelle Thompson," Ava replies. Within seconds, the screen fills with Janelle's application. Neat, thorough, impressive. Mrs. Caldwell's eyes scan the details. Former nurse, experienced in patient care and administration. She had been laid off months ago and was now recovering from surgery. "She's more qualified than most of the candidates we've seen this year," Miss Caldwell murmurs, a note of admiration in her voice. Ava watches quietly, hope rising like the sun breaking through a storm. Miss Caldwell taps a few buttons, then looks up with a determined smile. "You know what, Ava? We're not going to wait for your mom to come here. We're going to go to her." Ava blinks in surprise. Miss Caldwell continues, "If she's in the hospital, then that's where we'll meet her. We'll bring the job offer to her. No questions, no waiting." The small crowd outside the office door feels the shift too. The rumor spreads fast. Danielle, now standing nearby, smiles with tears in her eyes. "This company doesn't just hire people," Miss Caldwell says, voice steady. "We stand by them, especially when it matters most." Ava grins, her heart pounding. For the first time in a long time, she feels like the future might just be bright. The next morning, Miss Caldwell, her assistant, and Ava arrive at the hospital. The sterile halls buzz quietly with nurses and visitors, but Ava moves confidently through it all, clutching her mom's hand-drawn map. They reach Janelle's room, a small sunlit space with soft beeping machines. Ava bursts through the door, eyes shining. "Mommy, I did the interview for you!" she exclaims, breathless. Janelle looks up, confused at first. Her eyes widen as she sees Ava, then Miss Caldwell standing behind her. Tears brim in Janelle's eyes as she struggles to speak. "Ava, what?" Miss Caldwell steps forward, smiling warmly. "Mrs. Thompson, I'm Catherine Caldwell, CEO of Heartwell and Company. We've heard all about you, from your brave daughter here." Janelle's hands tremble as she reaches for the crumpled resume Ava hands her. We don't want you to worry about coming to us right now. Ms. Caldwell continues. We're offering you the job, right here, right now. When you're ready, we'll support you every step of the way. Janelle's lips quiver, overwhelmed. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything now, Ms. Caldwell replies softly. Just know that you're not alone. Ava wraps her arms around her mom's neck, and Janelle hugs her tightly, tears flowing freely. The room is quiet, filled only with the sound of hope finally settling in. Outside the hospital, a company known for profits has just made its most human decision yet. A few weeks later, Janelle steps into the Hartwell and Company office for the first time as an employee. The nervousness in her eyes is gone, replaced by quiet determination. She wears a fresh, clean blouse and a smile that speaks of new beginnings. Downstairs, Ava arrives, her backpack swinging as she walks through the lobby. Staff members smile and wave, some kneeling to greet her, others snapping quick photos to share the story spreading through the company. "Hey, Ava, ready for your honorary employee badge?" Daniel asks with a grin. Ava beams like the hero she is. Up in her office, Miss Caldwell looks over a new initiative she's launching, a program dedicated to supporting single parents and families facing unexpected hardships. It's called the Hartwell Family Support Program, designed to offer flexible work schedules, emergency assistance, and career coaching. The company culture is shifting. Meetings begin with moments of empathy, leaders listen more closely to their team's personal challenges, compassion becomes part of the business strategy, and productivity improves. Employees share stories like Ava's, reminding everyone that behind every resume is a human life filled with struggles, hopes, and courage. In a world often driven by numbers and deadlines, Hartwell and Company is becoming a place where people come first. And it all started with a little girl who walked into an office with a crumpled resume and a big heart. At home, the small kitchen is filled with the aroma of a simple dinner. Ava and her mom sit side by side, sharing stories and laughter over steaming plates. Ava looks up, her eyes shining. "Mommy, I did a good thing, right?" Janelle's eyes glisten with tears as she pulls Ava into a tight hug. "You did more than that, baby. You changed both our lives." They sit together, the quiet strength between them filling the room. Ava's small voice breaks the silence again. "Maybe. Sometimes it takes a child to remind us what matters most." Outside, the city hums on, busy, relentless, but somewhere inside those walls, a light has been kindled. A light born from courage, love, and a little girl who believed that hope could change everything. If this story touched your heart, don't scroll past. Share this message. You never know what someone nearby is going through. Be kind. Be human. And when you can, show up for others. Because sometimes one small act of courage can change a life forever